Hey guys, it's Will, it's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. Thank you for finding me. I hope you liked the video. Give us a comment, give us a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. It always does help. I am very excited to make this video. I'm going to be showing you something that I got in the mail that literally had me grinning from ear to ear. That's a big box. That's what she said. I know what's in here. I already opened it, as you can see. So there's a story behind this. Why don't I show you what it is? I'll tell you the story behind it, and then we can dive in just a little bit. Baby, oh baby, do you know what this is? Hell yes! It's the Shawscope Volume 1 box set. So if you watch this channel, you know that I love Shaw Brothers. I love these films. I was so excited for this release coming out, and I still didn't have it like months later, and everyone and their mother had it, and I didn't have it. And people were even emailing me being like, do you really not have that yet? And let me tell you why I didn't have it, right? So we make money from this channel from Patreon. Huge shout out to our patrons. They are amazing people. I do exclusive content. I do wicked early release videos in there, polls and things like that. You can go sign up for $2 a month. All that money goes back into the channel just to give a little plug. And then we make advertising money from YouTube, right? And so we make like, I honestly can't, we're making like $35 a month, I think, from Patreon, and we make about $100 every couple months from YouTube. We make like about $25 to $30 a month from YouTube, but they don't pay out until you reach $100. So every couple months we get $100 from YouTube. So that's what we're making. And so when we got our payout from YouTube, I was like, well, I can either buy the Shaw set with this, or I could buy a bunch of individual releases. And my thought was it would be a lot more beneficial to the channel if I buy a bunch of individual releases, because it's a more diverse slate of content. I'm showing people more films. I'm covering more labels and stuff like that. And so I elected to go for that route, even though what I really wanted was the Shaw set, right? Because I was so hyped on it. So enter Flip Otaku. If you don't know who Flip Otaku is, he's like one of the coolest people on YouTube. Like genuinely kind, really funny, a huge fan of cinema, big fan of Japanese cinema. We've become friends via the Asian Cinema Circle, you know, which is a bunch of YouTube channels that all cover Asian cinema, and we're both members of it, and we have like a chat and stuff like that. And he and I became friends because we both really like Japanese cinema, and like he loves like The Godfather, Coppola. I'm a huge Coppola fan. Like we talk a lot about movies. And so last week Flip was like, hey, I want to send you a present. What's your address? And so I was like, please don't spend a lot of money on me. I'm always uncomfortable when people send me presents. I'm just not like, well, I'm like, what did I do to deserve this kind of thing, you know? So I was like, okay, but please don't spend a lot of money on me, blah, blah, blah. Here's my address. And he sends me the freaking Shawscope set. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this is the best I opened this and I was just grinning from ear to ear. I spent like an hour just flipping through it, reading the liner notes, looking at the discs, looking at the artwork. I had forgotten there are 12 movies in there. I thought it was 8 for some reason. There's 12 like all-time classic Shaw films in there, including some of my all-time favorite Shaw Brothers movies. This is just like the most amazing. It's like this a tremendous act of kindness that just fell from this guy. Go and follow Flip Otaku on his YouTube channel. He knows more about Chambara films than I think anyone I've ever met. Chambara being the Japanese sword fighting genre of films, like samurai films and war films and of the samurai era and stuff like that. He's a huge Kurosawa fan, as am I. He's a huge fan of manga, anime, but also a huge Shaw Brothers fan, and just like has this enormous like encyclopedia of knowledge about the Shaw films in his head. It is such a great resource. But I'm kind of beside myself, like at the kind of the kindness and the generosity of this gift. And it's also, you probably don't know this, but my birthday is coming up, so it's like, I don't think he knew that, but it's just like perfect timing. My birthday's in like 10 days as I'm recording this, so this is what you get when you pull it out. So that's what she said. Oh, I'm doing the pull-out method with the Shawscope set. So it's roughly the same size as the Zatoichi set, but it's longer. But like height and weight-wise, it feels kind of similar. So I've already watched King Boxer. I could not stop myself. You might not know if you're new to the channel, but this is one of my all-time favorite Shaw films, and I have the I actually have the Dragon Dynasty DVD right here. So there's King Boxer and Boxer from Shantung. So each one of the artwork here is all done by different artists, which is pretty cool, because and they did that with the Zatoichi set too, the Criterion Zatoichi set. It's almost like that meme, if you've seen the you know that meme of like Mr. Bean copying someone's homework? I feel like it's like Criterion Zatoichi said, an arrow is Mr. Bean. Not, and I'm not saying it's like, you know, jockeying their style, but like the Criterion Zatoichi set is an incredible box set. It's probably my favorite box set that I have in terms of the way the packaging is put together, the way the films are presented, the way the artwork is done. Like, it's a really great reference point if you're putting together another big mega set. So it makes sense that they would look at that. 5 Shaolin Masters, that's actually the first Shaw Brothers film I ever saw. So I'm really excited to revisit that one. Shaolin Temple is here. And then we have Mighty Peking Man. You can see the blonde woman and the monster. It's like me and my wife when we go out in public. Who's that beautiful blonde woman with that hairy ogre? And then here we have Challenge of the Masters and Executioners from Shaolin. And then Chinatown Kid, which, you know, this is like the full version, like restored and everything, which I think had previously only been available on a VHS tape, if I'm not mistaken. 5 Venoms and Crippled Avengers. I mean, are there any 2 more legendary films to put on a double feature? Heroes of the East, and then the film about your mom, Dirty Ho. I make that joke every time. I'm very juvenile in my sense of humor, and I apologize for that. And then the soundtracks are on here too. So Shaolin Temple, Mighty Peking Man, and Chinatown Kid is there, and 5 Venoms, Crippled Avengers, and Dirty Ho right there. So that is where the films are housed, and then there is also a mammoth booklet here. And one of the things that's really cool about the booklet is that it has fun little facts in it. So I'll show you what I mean as we go through it. But there's the book, and obviously there's a ton of pictures. It's very kind of awkward to hold up in front of the camera. But there's an essay in here, just kind of an overview. Oh, this is actually really interesting too. Explaining like how the names work and like Mandarin versus Cantonese, and you know some of the filmmakers here. Like there's the guy who made King Boxer was Korean, so he has his name can be written in Chinese. So there's like the Cantonese version of his name and the Korean version of his name, but it's the same name kind of thing. So this is by David Dresser, and it's a brief history of Shaw Studio. So that's, I mean, if you're like, I'm super unfamiliar with, I know like the basic history of Shaw, but I don't know like granular details of it, like drilling down into it and stuff like that. I just kind of know the basic like bullet point overview. So learning about, through this essay and through the bonus features on here, learning about, that's Jimmy Wang Yu, learning about the history of the studio. Super cool. So Five Fingers of Death is the alternate title of King Boxer. If you saw that poster there. Great photos here. So each film I'm not going to show you every single page of this because we'll be here until the end of time, but each film gets its own 2-page spread, right? So there's a synopsis of the film, the poster for the film, the cast, the crew, film notes by Simon Abrams, and then trivia and name that tune. So like, for instance, the music, the really famous music from King Boxer, which is also in Kill Bill, which is the music that you hear when she's like ready to go into kill mode. I can't really imitate it that well, but you know what I mean if you know what I mean. It's from Ironside, I believe, the TV show. And then it also tells you that there's music cues from James Bond in here. And I knew that Jimmy Wang Yu had used music from James Bond, the John Barry music. I'm a huge Bond fan. And I kind of recognize some Bond I said in my review of Chinese Boxer, it reminded me of Bond, and the music was kind of Bondian. And then Fanatical Dragon, Johnny, hopped in on the comments and was like, oh yeah, they totally used music from the Bond films in that movie. And that's why you would recognize that. So, but I just have to give like the biggest, I mean, I'm geeking out about just talking to you about this. I am so excited about this. The amount of bonus material on here is absurd and obscene and insane. My name is Will. You're watching Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society, and I just have to give the biggest, most profound thank you and gesture of gratitude to Flip Otaku for just being kind enough to send that to me, the generosity of that, and the amount of enjoyment I'm going to get out of it. My 4-year-old was looking at it. I put it on the couch, and he picked it up, and he's like, when will I be old enough to watch these Kung Fu movies? And he just knows from the Shaw logo that they are Kung Fu movies. I think I watched 8 Diagram Pole Fighter with him when he was like 8 months old. He was young enough so that I knew that he wouldn't know what was going on, because that's a pretty violent movie. But he was sitting on the couch, like doing like little moves. It's really cute. But anyway, so even my kid is like really, really excited that he's way too young to be watching these movies. But someday we'll watch them together. So, and Flip is a parent too. And so Yeah, just like the kindest, most generous thing. So huge shout out and thank you to Flippo Taco. Go and follow his channel. He's an awesome person. He's so nice. He's so invested in the films. He's doing amazing projects that he and I were talking about, some stuff that he's working on that's going to be really, really awesome. So yeah, that's just about the end of this video. I thank you so much for watching as always, and we will see you next time.